All right, y'all. We are live. Are y'all ready to kick this thing off?
Oh yeah.
Let's do
Yes,
it.
sir. Yes, sir.
KTTV, giving you what you need. Motivation, education unleashed. H-Town representing, we forever keep it rolling. Join the conversation with inspirational stories. Thought provoking, feel the energy. Kendrick Thomas aiming to lift the community. True indeed, tune in, come and see. Giving you what you need. KTTV, let's go. Hey, KTTV.
Hey.
What to do, KTTV? This is KT, and I'm coming at you live with another episode of Education Unleashed. And I have my co-host
Dr. Wise here, y'all.
in the building. Look, and I want to say 5 years, a little less, maybe a little more. But the boy is back in the building. We got the God MC, Coach Mike Miller.
Yay.
What to do, Coach?
Your mama got it. Your mama got it. What's going on, people, man? How y'all doing, man? It's glad to be back on one of the amazing educator platforms. Man, I love what you're doing, man. I love how you're giving us educators a voice and letting us speak our spiel and just letting the world know how important it is for us teachers, man, as educators, man.
Look, man, we got to look. If we don't do it, because right now I think over COVID we got a bad rap, and so right now we got to turn that thing around, show people it's still fun in this thing. It may be little, bro, but it's still some fun in this thing, especially when you got people like Dr. Wise in the building and all this good stuff here.
You're too
So
kind.
look,
Too
brothers,
kind.
thank you for showing up tonight. I know you got things going on. I know y'all getting ready for the trip to Baton Rouge with the team. So thank you for taking a few minutes out the busy schedule, man, to come on and just talk about this work. Because we know it's getting crazy out here. We see a lot of things going on in the athletic world. We just got the whole thing going with Travis Hunter, all these boys from Colorado. And so what better time than to have you come on and just talk about that transition, what you're seeing, especially for me as a former coach. You know, we say student athlete, but a lot of the times they leave that student to the wayside and they just want to be the athlete. They don't know that they co-mingle. So enjoying, looking forward to this conversation tonight, man, to get some of those tidbits. But first off, let me just check in, man. Dr. Wise, how have you been doing since our last time around?
I have been doing wonderful. Just kind of staying in the game a little bit, reading a lot to stay abreast and stay current. Yeah, so I'm doing well. Thanks for asking.
Oh, yeah, because we know, Coach, unlike us, Dr. Wise is retired. And at the house here, that's why she looks so refreshed here, so we got to make sure she stand on our toes. Coach, what about you, man? I know it's been a minute since we got together, but how have you been, brother? And how are you staying sane amidst everything with the coaching, with the work and everything?
Oh, man, it's kind of like, when you fall back into your purpose, it ain't nothing to it. You know what I'm saying? It's kind of like a natural thing. So it's I'm back in my element. I'm back doing what I do. Just was waiting patiently for a good opportunity. It found me, I found it. And that's how I stay sane, man. I was just waiting patiently, man. Yeah.
Yeah, that's something, right? That look like when it's supposed to happen, I think it's gonna be easy. So yes, I get you, brother. I get it. Yes, sir, man. Okay, and where you at now?
So I'm currently teaching at the Armani Black private school. So Black private schools, very nice. It's been around for about 30 plus years. I want to say about 33. This is my first year there. They found me. It was amazing. They found me off of social media.
Yeah.
And social media is powerful. And it's I all the opportunities I got has become off the social media platform. So that's why I said in the beginning about your show, the platform is an amazing tool. And so, like I said, I'm at the Armani School. It's K through 8th grade. Head basketball coach, head track coach, and I'm also the PE teacher in the building. And definitely turning it up on the kids. They kind of really academics has been their big focus for so many years, and they want to change it around with athletics and physical education, get the kids more healthier. So they found me, and here we go. Every day I'm bringing the heat, I'm bringing the knowledge, I'm bringing so many different drills and different workouts, and basically just a lot of development on these kids, especially through the kindergarten, third grade, fourth grade. I'm basically focusing on a lot of development. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Fundamental skills and just getting the foundation of teaching them how to run. So when it's time to get to the next step of actually learning concrete and complex drills and sports, they'll be already ready to go.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. That's what it's about, brother. All right, man. Well, like I say, looking forward to this conversation tonight, and we'll dive way, way deeper into that because it's a lot. I tried to make sure to bring these good questions because there's a few things I think we just need to address. So I think I'm looking forward to that, and I think it's going to be a good one for us. Now, what I want to do is before that is get into some news. I like to kind of keep us abreast of what's going on. We've been talking about vouchers, but now we have to switch gears because we know that the DEI is over, right? Under attack. I don't know what to call it. All I know is if you got it going, you ain't getting no money from the government. So that goes for our schools, that goes for our organizations. Brother tried to stop all nonprofit funding. It's been rough in this thing, man. So tonight on the news, we'll talk a little bit about what's going on in my home state, Louisiana. So let's get into it, y'all. I'm going to share this screen. All right, and so this comes courtesy of KPLC 7 in Lake Charles, Louisiana. Big shouts out to them. What it says is LSU is purging hundreds of web pages in response to Trump admin's anti-DEI guidance. And so, of course, we know a lot of people are doing this. So it was two reasons that caught my eye for this story. One is my hometown. I mean, my home state, Louisiana. But two, when you hear the pages that are being wiped out, the history that is being wiped out simply because they have the word diversity in them, wow, it is crazy. And so the story goes on to say LSU could purge more than 1,300 web pages because they include the words diversity, equity, inclusion, and DEI. And of course, we all know that this is in response to the government and Donald Trump's administration saying that he will revoke federal funding for campuses that use race-conscious practices in admissions, programming, training, hiring, scholarships, and other aspects of student life. Just gonna pause on that statement and let it just keep rolling. So the university shared a list of web pages under scrutiny with campus leaders Friday, along with a memo from LSU Deputy General Counsel Trey Jones, laying out the next steps for complying with the Trump administration. And so this story comes from the Illuminator, which is a nonprofit group on the campus. Now, this is what, let's get into a little bit of the list. So it says the list appears to indiscriminately flag websites that include mentions of diversity, equity, and inclusion. It includes 169 faculty profile pages, many of which might have been identified in error. So the thing is, remember, it is wiping these pages out just because they've been identified. So one of them is a science professor, Mr. Kyle Holmes, which mentions his research is on the topic of ecological diversity. Crazy, just moved.
Yeah.
Todd Woodard has not yet responded. Dozens of blog posts and press releases celebrating awards, scholarships, and honors from the university's online historical records. They edited other web pages to remove references from diversity. The Hewell D. Perkins Doctorate Fellowship named for a longtime LSU administrator who had previously been denied admission because he was Black, now calls on applicants to reach out to the graduate school for admission requirements. It previously required applicants to be from a historically underrepresented group. So we already know that fellowship is no longer happening. So that's another thing that's being taken. 2 obituaries for former deans of the Mansip School of Mass Communication have been flagged. A write-up of Dean Martin Johnson's achievements mentions his experience at the Revel, the university's student newspaper, and championed a weekly edition co-published in the newspaper of Southern University, a historically Black university in Baton Rouge. So they are taking down everything. It says the memo that they're sending out reaffirms that race and gender balancing and quotas in hiring are prohibited in the LSU system. Wow. Just wow. So, I mean, I'll just say what y'all think.
Well, what I find astonishing and it's kind of laughable, even though this is a serious matter, if you had the word diversity in reference to anything, I mean, it can be a diverse pond of fish. You have to take the word diversity out. And at some point, this is just becoming ridiculous. But what I think, Doc, also is I don't think most people understand what DEI is and the benefit of it. But I can tell you what it isn't. And what they want us to think it is, is hiring an unqualified person for a job just because the person's color. That's not DEI. Okay. They also want us to think that it's hiring based on race just to meet these diversity goals. And so it isn't that DEI. DEI, for an example, if you have a sick parent and you have to take leave, well, you can take leave with time and pay. All of that's on the DEI. And that cross all the spectrums of color. It's not a Black thing, right? For example, if you give birth, you can come back to a job because you go out on maternity leave. That's all a part of the DEI initiative. Employee recognition programs, for example, material in different languages. But they want to think it's because these people are getting these jobs because the color of their skins, and that's not DEI.
Most definitely. Coach, what you got to say?
Oh man, this whole situation. So I really haven't been on the DEI thing, but one thing I have noticed just how they're able to just go in and remove stuff like it's nothing. Like what happened to like due process and like you got to go through. You just boom. I'm just That's weird to me, and I don't. That's something that's scary, to be honest.
Yeah,
you know, a lot of stuff has been being removed without any say so, without any prerequisites of doing anything, and that's what I find a problem. It's definitely a problem.
Yeah, I agree, man. Like you say, just in that article, when you think about things that are being taken out of the historical system just because they include this stuff when they made it there by people who earned it, people who earned everything. And so you just all you can say is just what's next. What's next. But we'll keep rolling. I digress. All right. So now I guess I wanted to just share that. Don't want to harp too much on it on YouTube going crazy and everything. So we're gonna keep on rolling. We'll take a break, and when we get back, I think we're going to get into this work with Coach. Looking forward to this conversation. I told y'all, we got Coach Miller in the building. Dr. Wise, we'll be right back.
You see the drippy, I'm fitted up. Hop in my car and the giddy up. Secure the bag, yeah, I get the bus. Pick it up, pick it up, pick it up. You see the drippy, I'm fitted up. Hop in my car and the
Wait a minute. I just realized as we got back, I did not get my Shannon Sharp on today. I forgot to read Coach bio. So let's go, Coach. Coach Mike Miller, PE teacher at Imani Black Private School, and also the head basketball and track coach, owner and head coach of the Alief Clovers AAU Track Club, head track coach at Southwest Christian Community College, and that boy got that CMO.
So, yes, sir. And let me correct that. Because my AD already said it because I worded it wrong. So we are the Community Christian College, and we're the Southwest location because we don't want to get it twisted with the Southwest Christian Community College. I think it's like Temple or something. But yeah, and I'll explain that more through the show once we start talking about the college and all that type of stuff. Yes, sir.
Yes, sir. Well, man, I guess just jumping right into things, man. Coach, you've been doing this basketball, track, multiple levels. Man, let's just take it from the beginning, right? What inspired you? And I remember we talked a little bit about some of the things that sent you to PV, man. But if you can, just refresh us on that mind on what made you decide to come back and take their place as a coach? Because we know once you give one, that's a lot of sacrifice, man.
Yeah. Well, like it is, I'm a Section 8 baby. I grew up in Alief. The worst parts, no father. My mom got in a car accident when I was 4, so it broke her neck, so she's been paralyzed from the waist down, so I never seen my mom walk before. So going to Hastings, running track, I was pretty good. Had a track coach who was interested in me. He wanted me to run summer track for him. I told him my mom can't pay for that. He was listening. If you commit to the program, be at practice, I'll make sure you get a uniform and make sure your fees is paid. Boom. I qualify for Junior Olympics to go to Virginia. We leave for a week. We're in a van. We're in a hotel. I love the whole experience. And I tell Coach, so like, this is what it's like to be in college. And he's like, yeah, this is what you'll be doing for the next 4 to 5 years. So that sparked the interest in me. He already had a connect with the coach from Prairie View. So that's how I already had a way to get in Prairie View. So from there, that's how it sparked me. So once I got to PV, became an amazing athlete and all that good stuff. My coach put me in a program where we was dealing with kids in the summertime. It went well. It was like being a PE teacher. So I was like, man, I told my coach, this is what I would love to get a degree in. So I got my degree in that. And then I came back home after graduating from Prairie View with my bachelor's, and then I was also halfway done with my master's. Came home as a sub, as a para, while I was studying for my PE test. I created my own athletic program at an alternative school, high school, which had a basketball team and a soccer program. And all these kids were in gangs, Crips, Bloods, and then Hispanics was all in their gang. But I created the teams. I put them at the community center because they couldn't play against the regular schools. And we didn't win not one game, but we lost every close game. But all the different sets in the games wasn't fighting each other after the games. So it excited me how much influence I had. The kids, this came out their mouth. We're not gonna do this because of coach. We're not gonna tear this up because of coach.
Yay.
So once we finished the season, I was so excited in my gym at the alternative school, sitting with the kids. I was like, man, let's keep going. Let's create an AAU basketball program, and let's call it Alief something. So we sat down for a whole class period. I said, we can't go blue or red because y'all be gangbanging. We ain't finna do that, but we're gonna go with green. Because Alief is green like a leaf, and I like money, and I like the Boston Celtics at that time because of Kevin Garnett. Boom. We go with the Alief Clovers with the same uniform colors as the Boston Celtics with the green and gold, and it just took off from there. I saw the impact of what was going on. Yes, it took a lot of sacrifice. Spent a lot of money over my years. Man, probably $200,000 over since 2010 to up to now. Probably spent about $200,000, $100,000, something like that. But it was so worth it, saving so many kids in my 13 years of just being in Alief. and creating these programs, the step teams and the track teams and the basketball teams and flag football, just doing all these things just gave the kids somewhere to go, to be a part of something. And I never cared about what they was a part of, and it just kind of broke them down to the point of it made them think. And now a lot of these kids are grown, they're living real lives, they have families. Some of them became cops, some of them became lawyers, some of them, man, it's so amazing what they became. And one was a secret service of Trump's first term. Like I think it was the FBI. Somebody came to the school, and I was like, "What they doing up here calling for me in the office?" So they came in. They were just like, "Well, no, we do not here for you." I'm like, "Good." Yeah. And it was like, well, one of your old former students who played for the soccer team at Crossroads mentioned you and said a lot of great things about you. So we're doing an interview on him, and we want to know if he's good. And I was like, "Yes, thank you." Is Hezekiah with you? All right, thank you. So that's how it took off, and it was, and I was like, well, this is my purpose. This is what I do, and I just kept. How can I grow from there? How can I perfect my craft? How can I just do more? And that's the answer to the question on that. That's what sparked it. Like I just knew I wouldn't be where I was at, especially being in an alternative school. I had no kids at the time. That's big money to me. I'm going to school fresh every day, new Jordans. I'm fresh. I'm a P. I get to go how I want to go. And the kids loved how I dressed. They loved how I looked. They loved my demeanor. They loved my swag. I was the only teacher with sleeves, tattoos, and all that good stuff. I changed the game. No teacher had tattoos when I came in Alief or dreads. I changed the game. The kids loved it. I had their attention. And I was like, I couldn't just come to school anymore and collect a paycheck and be fresh and be cool to them from that 8 to 4 and then leave. I got to do more. I gotta. Instead of going to happy hour, I'm going to the apartments. I'm going to the where people dying at. I'm going to the Mint. I'm going to the when it was called. I'm going to the worst places, and I'm standing there, and I'm here. What's up? Like. And like, Coach, how you out here? I know your OG. We went to school together. Or I know you, nigga, that Coach. Yeah. So me getting verified in my own community / hood gave me more reason to like, man, I can go open doors behind doors people can't go. I'm finna do something. I'm finna go pull out who I can. Hey, let me get him. He got talent. Keep him from doing this right here. Make sure he go to school. So I just kept going, kept building.
And now with that, thinking about the Crossroads, right? And so we know alternative school. And so many of those young athletes, they struggle with that discipline, right? Because we're thinking about that's the reason we're here, right? Something that happened. And so we here for a certain amount of days. As you get those students and you're thinking about that young man who became that FBI person, how do you instill accountability and commitment in those players?
I used my story, and my story was just like theirs. I came from the worst stuff. I came from nothing. I came from a bad circumstance. I got incarcerated. I was on probation. Luckily, it was deferred. It didn't stick with me, so I was able to get a second slate.
Praise God.
And that's what I explained. That's what I explained to them. Okay, you in alternative school, you got trouble, you on probation. You still got another opportunity. You still got an opportunity to turn it around. So hearing it come from a person who never been in those type of steps, but when they see a person like me that was in those steps, it hit a little different. Especially when they sound like you. I sound like you. I speak the same lingo. And a kid can smell when you're fake talking like them. They knew that I wasn't fake talking. They know I'm really from the streets. So it was like, okay, that it sparked the interest. How did you get to where you at, Coach? And then that's when I was able to boom. Once they got the interest, because the same thing with me with my mentor, my principal. I knew him since he was my AP. So to me, I'm like, I can tell you're from a community that's black. a community that's going through what I'm going through. How did you get to where you're at? That's what was my whole motive. I got to get them to ask me that question. I got to get them to like think my position is cool, like how they do in the apartments of who they looking up to throw their life away. I'm finna be that, and that's what I did. I went to school fly on purpose. I went to school looking the way I look on purpose because I knew they would gravitate to me on that. I knew, even though I liked that was still my look, but I didn't cover up my look. I made sure they saw who I was because I knew they was gonna gravitate, and I knew that was gonna give me the opportunity to change their life.
Man, it has so far, man. Just thinking about those people.
Yeah.
Now I know. So for me, I did an AAU. I did football with the Eagles, right? So what they had to do coming up, bring your report card, all of those pieces before we get in. How do you kind of reinforce the importance of that academics? And then how does that play into the overall success of your athletes when they do hit the track?
Man, everything is about an example of people's past of that helps me get them to understand. Because I can say all day, you need your grades, blah, 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 blah. I always give it my example. So I was a kid who was bad in class. So they threw me in special ed, right? And they followed me through high school. And I was like, well, I get to be in an easy class and I can get to go play sports and I'm good. But it caught up with me senior year when I didn't understand academic scholarships and all this other stuff to go to school. I couldn't get none of that. And by the time I wanted to get it, my counselor said, baby, it's too late. But you can still go to college for athletics, but you can't do nothing with academics and all that stuff. So me telling them that story and how I missed out on some things and how I couldn't pass clearinghouse. I couldn't even run the first year because I couldn't pass the field. I couldn't pass the writing. I couldn't pass the math. I only passed the reading. So I had remedial classes my first year that didn't even count, and then had to go to summer school full time that next year just to get a uniform at the age of 20 as a sophomore. So I just give these examples, real life scenario where they can see it and visually, and then they'll understand, like, okay, I ain't trying to mess up like that, coach. Thank you for giving me your spiel on what happened to you and other people, and they capitalize on our losses, and they can gain.
Yeah. Now I know you got some of those college athletes that's coming up. So you work with both high school, and your college. So now, how do you help them with transition? Like, what are some of the biggest challenges in transition you've seen them struggle with? And when I ask that question, I think about like the parents who got the kids who are getting from that high school and maybe looking to go to some on the next level. And I just want to kind of give something where they can have to say, okay, be looking out for this, or this may happen. And so kind of talk to me about a few of those challenges that you've seen in that transition, and then how you help your players get through.
For the parent standpoint, just be more realistic with your child's ability. Some parents have dreams that are bigger than the child's development yet, and it could hinder their recruiting because that child might not be ready to go to Division I. They may need to go to a junior college or community college or a Division II or Division III school first. So that's one thing I stress to the parent on their recruiting. On their recruiting. Now, when they get to the school, I never really had any athletes that had problem in classes. They went to class. College, you show up, you put the effort in, you're going to be okay. Because I was one of them. And I explained that to them. Now, transitioning as an athlete, as a freshman, can be a issue on that. Hey. Here. Now, that can be an issue on transitioning from a high school athlete to a college athlete. That can be a big issue, to where because like let's just say for cross country in high school it's 3.3 miles. When you get to college, it's 5 miles. So from there, a lot of athletes might not be able to transition in there. So sometimes they have to red shirt. Sometimes you have to sit out that year so they won't waste that year. You don't want to waste that year. Okay, so those are the two big transitions. Like I said, the grades have never been really big. It's been mostly it's been mostly the development of getting them to be able to compete, and I don't want them to waste. I don't want them to waste a year. Huh? What's up? I'm on podcast, son. Okay. I don't want them to waste a year. I don't want them to waste a year at a school for that. So I explained to the parents, because some parents don't know what red shirt is. Why my son, he was this in high school, and why is he red shirt? Why is he not getting a uniform? I have to explain it to him. Hey, you wanted your child to go on this type of level, Division One. The child's not ready for Division One. You need to get that year out. They'll give him that year back, but he has to sit out. So that's just the most biggest thing as far as transitioning the athlete. That's probably the biggest thing.
Wise, I seen you over there with the notepad. Did you have something?
No, not really a question, but a statement. I'm so inspired by your story, and I just want to say thank you for working with these children. Gosh, we need more people like you. And I guess my question would be, are you telling this story? Do you do public speaking? Are you going to schools, across the state of Texas?
I've done it before. At one time, I was on a roll. The biggest speech I did was at Garland High School in Dallas in front of 1,000 kids. It was really amazing. And then I kind of fell off. But I would love to get back and tell my story. I used to tell it a lot in Alief. I used to do a lot of speeches with the athletes. Coaches would have me come and speak. But I would love to get back in it. So if you ever got an opportunity for me, go ahead and
and write that book. I'm telling you, you have a story that's so inspiring. And I was a principal for many years, and the kind of children that you're talking about, those are the kind of students that I work with. I went into the Title I schools, and that's where my passion lies. And so I see they go through a lot, and to hear a person like you tell your story, that gives them hope.
Yes, ma'am.
And knowing that they too can rise above their circumstances.
Yes. No matter the situation, they can.
No matter.
That's it, man. Okay.
No matter.
Well, what we'll do, we'll take a quick break. And then when we get back, man, I want to jump into mental toughness, right? Because we know, man, that is one of a big important skill as an athlete, man. So we'll take a quick break. And when we come back, let's close out this interview. Let's go. All right, y'all, welcome back to Education Unleashed. I am here with my co-host. Look,
Dr. Wise.
Hey, look, she just be out the game, man. Hey, and we got our guest, Coach Miller, in the building. So far, y'all, we've been talking a lot about athletes, student athletes. Very important. As a high school football coach, man, I want to echo what you said earlier, just about talking to parents about their transition, right? They think, oh, my kid was this star athlete. He running this, he doing this. Why is he on the bench or red shirting for that first year? So everything you said was so important about that. But I wanted to jump into mental toughness, because we know that's just as important as physical skill, right? And so when you're looking at building the confidence and the resilience in your athletes, what are some of the strategies that you use?
All right, so on the mental toughness part, I just keep it real with them. I don't hide what they're gonna go through, what they're gonna experience, what they're gonna feel, and I just give it to them raw. Like, and if this is what you really want, you're going to experience those type of things. So I try to prepare them for their mental toughness for those situations. And just as for an example, like for an athlete that's in practice and physically they're going through it. Physically, they're not feeling 100%. So that's a good teachable moment to get them mentally tough to fight through the motions. I always use the word motions. I love to use it's just emotion right now. It's not gonna stay. You're not gonna feel like this forever or this whole day. Like, it's going to get better. So I try to get them to understand that, so they don't shut down, they don't break down, they stay solid, bend but don't break, don't fold.
Yeah. Don't fold.
I like
Don't
that.
fold.
Bend but don't break. I like that.
Look, that's how it be, man. When you show up and that rain start hitting, but ain't no lightning, and they don't call them track meets off, and we still got to get out here and make it happen, man. Oh my God, man, I remember them days. So I agree, man. But that mental toughness, because I've seen the best of them break down, man, and really lose themselves. And I know you're the best player on the field, but because you're not mentally strong, you take yourself out the game. I've seen some of the best 1,600 yards running back. Take yourself out the game in the first quarter.
Or not even that. It's just like my athlete that I had sent to the school in Iowa. I sent him out there. He was a big recruit for them, but mentally he wasn't tough enough, and that's just due. I didn't have enough time with him at the moment. I had got him his sophomore year at the alternative school. I discovered that he can jump. Probably 2 months of him being in there, and with those 2 years, we worked, but I didn't get the opportunity to really grind him mentally like I wanted to. And it's a little tougher when you get a kid like that comes in an alternative school. He's from the streets, so he's like, it's different because trees. I always use the example of trees. When they get to that age, they're like that big tree, and it's hard to bend them. You can only bend the twigs. But when you see a baby tree, that's like a little kid. You can bend them the way you want, and they're gonna grow that way. So it's just a little tougher when they're older. But that's just a great example of if we don't get them mentally tough with him being away from us, they won't handle it. Yeah. It'll let it get to him. And then he'll come back home like he did. So, but I got another 2 years since he's been home to definitely get him prepared for his next opportunity. So.
Yeah, that's it. We know it's coming. It's just a matter of time, man.
Yeah,
from your perspective,
will be in May. They compete in May at Rice. So yeah, it's coming.
Okay.
But if they don't make it to that next level, whatever that is, NFL, whatever, they can be disciplined enough to get a college degree.
Yeah, that's what it's about. That's what it's all about. It's always a dream to take a kid and see them get a paycheck and support themselves from that athletic ability. But I always stress and show them my lifestyle, my life of just being able to be a PE teacher, doing the things that I love to do in my life.
That's right.
I treat my profession like I went pro. Like when I sign my contract every year, like I take a picture with it, with the pen and the paper, like I'm a pro. You know what I'm saying? And when I share this stuff with the kids, they really feel it. They understand it. And they get excited. And they say they want to be a PE teacher, or they really start to focus. They start to really think about, okay, if I don't go pro, what I'm going to do. Because my mind, when I went to college, I'm going pro and that's it. And the number one thing my coach said was, yeah, you can get opportunity to get some money, but what you gonna do after that? And I didn't even think about. I was like, well, as long as it's dealing with sports, I'm good. And he was like, you ever thought about being a PE teacher? And then that's when he put me in that program, and it sparked me. It's when he put me in the program, and I went down to see the kids. I had the same type of stuff I would wear at the Crossroads, and the kids they just they just couldn't wait to see me. And then, like I said, after the program was over, I went to coach. Was like, sign me up to be a PE teacher. And that's how it is, man. And my kids now see the benefits of having an education, of having a degree, because they see me leave Alief for all them years, and I was able to pick it right back up like it was nothing. You know, like nothing. It wasn't no. I ain't have to go out and go do these hard jobs that I didn't want to do, or go do these other things. Even when I wasn't working at the Crossroads, my credentials of who I am as a health person still made me money with CMOS. Everything is still in my realm of my control, and that's what I'm teaching my athletes, of being in the realm of their own control of what they love in their life, and then go in that direction of the passion. So you can make that a career. Yeah. You make that a way of living.
And
with that being said, for an example, so now I just signed my contract 2 weeks ago. Last Saturday, not this past Saturday, but last Saturday, I signed my contract for the college. My assistant coach for the Clovers, who's been with me from the jump, when I started the track and field program, which was 9 years ago, but I started the program in 2010. He ran track with me in college. I've always said, man, stay down. We've been through a whole lot with this track, so stay down. One day we're gonna get some money out there. We're gonna get a check one day. And he just signed his contract last week.
Come on, man.
You know what I'm saying? Mm-hmm. So, and then now my other assistant coach, he's a volunteer. But like the AD told me, once our enrollment goes up, because I got like 20 to 30 kids I'm finna sign right after high school from these high schools. And now my other coaches are gonna get paid. So it's and then at the college that we're at, they have football, basketball, track. So my sons who play for a football team called Alief Elite, the owner of that program, he's now the head defensive coordinator at the college that I'm at, because I put him on.
Yeah, it's a family affair.
Look, man. And it's a pipeline. So now I'm finna go into the district with my boy, and we're finna let the AD know what we have in our own community. So all these athletes who don't get signed for football, basketball, track, and cheer have an opportunity to come here for 2 years for less than $3,000 a year and get 60 hours of accredited colleges credit, and your 2 years of athleticism don't even count. So when you leave my school, you get to get 4 years at a university.
4 years.
You still get your 4 years.
Let's go.
They don't get no more than that.
Yeah.
You ever seen Last Chance You on Netflix? You ever seen Last Chance You on Netflix?
Yeah.
We got one in our own city.
Yeah. In the hood.
That's how you got to in the. You ain't got to go nowhere. All those kids that's on circumstances. Man, I got a kid. Oh man, I can't go to college. It's right, and the classes are online. You don't have to go to campus. You do your classes and you come to practice.
Come on, man. Let's look, coach.
Yeah. And we can get you scholarships. We're gonna call the Gates Foundation. Okay.
Yeah.
Give us some scholarships for these kids.
They do. They got athletic scholarships where I deem on who's worthy. They got a president scholarship. It's a Christian school. They got a ministry scholarship, a peer scholarship, and a president scholarship, and a scholarship that you just said. So,
Let's see. So now, Coach, understanding the influence of coaches, and so we'll wrap this up after this one here. If you could give one piece of advice to a young coach just starting out, understanding the influence and the power that coach had on your life, what would it be?
It's bigger than what you know. It's bigger than you. You know, man, it's bigger. It's so bigger than you. It's so needed. It's the influence that coaches carry. It's more powerful than the principal sometimes. Like it's just that. It's just what it is. You know what I'm saying? So if you are a coach out there and you are in this coaching game, you're gonna go through the ups and downs. You're gonna spin your own change sometimes. You're gonna spend hours away from your family. Yes, we know this. But the reward that you're gonna see later in life when these kids are grown and they're coming back to you and you see where they're at, it's gonna be so worth it. You know, you know who you are. This purpose and this calling is in you and you feel it. Even when you leave it, you know you can't leave it. You can't. It's just what it is, man. Like you can't. Yeah. When I was away from teaching and being even though I was still coaching my own program, but and that was only half a year when I would do that. So being away from education all those years, I felt it in me. I still knew I was needed. You know what I'm saying? I just had to wait until I found the right situation for me, but I knew it kept calling me. And when they hit me on Instagram, like, hey, can you come in for an interview? Like, that's when I knew, it's calling me back. I gotta go. And literally, and in the same year, I got the private school job and the college job in the same year.
Oh man, that's what. Like I told you, when it's supposed to happen, it's easy, man. Look, man. All right. Well,
when it's for you, it's for you. Yeah,
it's for you. Look, man, I appreciate that conversation. What we'll do, we'll take a quick break, and when we get back, we're gonna get into our rapid fire. So we'll take a quick break, Coach, and now let's get into a little fun in this interview. We'll be right back, guys. Oh, look. Whoa, welcome back to another episode of Education Unleashed. We are here with my co-host, Dr. Wise, and we got Coach Mike Miller. He just dropped so much information in the game on us for parents who are looking to raise those athletes, to transition those athletes from high school to college, talked a little bit about recruiting, all of those pieces. But now, Coach Miller, this is all about you right now. We're going to jump into our rapid fire section. With these, Coach Miller, I got 10 questions for you. Don't think about it. Just react to it. You got me?
Okay. I got you.
Here we go, man. Basketball or track? If you could only coach one, which would it be?
Track.
Track. What's your go-to pregame or pre-race pump-up song?
I got to get some Weezy, man. Let me get some Wayne.
Hey, Louisiana. Favorite coaching moment of all time?
Favorite who?
Coaching moment of all time.
Just seeing my athletes just reach the goals and signing a letter of intent. Got to be probably my most proud. The letter of intent from the alternative students was probably the best. They was counted out. Nobody thought it was gonna happen.
Trust me, I know firsthand. One word that describes your coaching philosophy.
Passion.
If you weren't a coach, what career would you have pursued?
If I wasn't coaching?
Yeah.
Oh man.
That's a good one, Doc.
Dude, that's a good one.
But I don't even know.
Sure.
It ain't nothing. I can't think of nothing. I don't know what else I'll be doing. I tell people
he would
all the
be
time.
Preaching. He would be a pastor.
Hey, you hear me? So yeah, it would be speaking. I'll probably be like a news anchor or something.
Yeah.
Okay,
Or
that's a good communication.
pastor.
Yeah. Favorite athlete of all time?
Steve Prefontaine.
Yeah.
Right.
Knew you were gonna say somebody on that track and field, man. Morning workouts or evening practice?
Give me evening. I don't like working out in the morning.
Hey, there you go.
Hey,
What's one thing all great athletes have in common?
Just the mental battle right before the performance starts. That those thoughts, those emotions, anxiety, the visions. Just every athlete has it, goes through it at the same time.
Yeah, most definitely. Your favorite motivational quote for student athletes?
It's not always. Oh, the experience is just as important as the win.
That's it. That's it.
The
It ain't the
experience
destination; it's the journey.
it's just as important as the win. You might not
Dang.
always
And
win,
what's
but
your
getting that experience is just as
you gonna
important.
get? Yeah, most definitely. What's the first thing you do after a big win or a tough loss?
A big win. I'm turned up. I'm on Instagram showing the world. I'm making some reels. I'm letting them know what's going on. I'm
Yeah.
I'm going to every athlete and showing them the progress. What could still be done better, but I'm still mostly just praising the athlete. But when we lose, I'm grilling them. I'm on top of them. I'm Bob Knight without all the cursing a lot, but I'm
or
doing
Woody
shit. But
Hayes.
yeah, Woody Hayes. I'm on you. Like it ain't yeah. It ain't sweet. Yeah, I tell you that.
Look, man. All right, man. I
Especially
appreciate it.
Especially if we put that work in, or y'all finna get grilled.
Yeah,
Right.
yeah. Especially look,
Hey,
man. I'm
keeping
telling
it
you, I know
real,
what you
right?
look. Well, man, that do it for our rapid fire section. Coach, thank you so much for taking that time to come with the interview and give us some tidbits. If people are trying to find out more about you, find out more about the Clovers, everything that you're doing, please
Yes.
give us the contact information and how they can find you.
All right, man. Alief Clovers website is aliefcloverstf.org. Again, that's aliefcloverstf.org. Everything is on the website. If you're trying to register your kid to the program, everything is on there. Everything from the schedule, payments, everything. You ain't got to do nothing outside of that. My Instagram, Mike Marley 4. If you want to follow me, if you want to follow me on Facebook, it's Mike Miller. If you're looking for my track and field program on Instagram, that's SW_Raiders track and field.
And it's going now. And I've also attached your information inside of the YouTube description, so people can go in and click the link and they will be able to find you there. So I appreciate it, brother. What we'll do, we'll take another quick break. And when we get back, we'll do our parent-teacher corner, and then we will begin to land this plane. All right, so we'll be right back. All right, y'all, parent-teacher corner. Let's go. All right, y'all. This week's edition of the Parent Teacher Corner, where we bridge the gap between the home and the school to create a stronger partnership for student success. So parents and teachers both play a vital role in shaping a child's play a vital role in shaping a child's education. But the key to real success is collaboration. This segment is all about sharing strategies, insights, and practical tips to help parents and educators work together efficiently. Doc, what you got for us this week?
Well, I'm going to keep it short for the sake of time. But just to piggyback on what the coach was talking about, parents, I want to speak to the parents tonight because he has inspired me. So I'm going to go a different way for the sake of time. But I think parents have to make it clear to your children at a very early age the expectations when it comes to students going to college. I think that in my household, it was not a non-negotiable, and that's okay. And I think that's what we have to start instilling in them at an early age. When I was a principal at the highest performing majority African American elementary school in the state of Texas, we started with the pre-K, and that was a part of our culture, right? And so parents, you can start early instilling in your children your expectations, and that is you're going to college. And we need people like Coach Miller and others that are going to be there to embrace them, to help them. They'll be in good hands, but you can start early. My two youngest grandkids, every day when they call me, either their dad or their mom call me, and I go, OH, they say, IO. Right? I had to do that about 5-10 different times because they were being said. Now when I say today, OH, they say IO. And I said, what's that? They said, that's the college I'm going to. So start early instilling that in your children.
Dang, you see how she got them going early to that Ohio State coach?
I'm just saying,
already getting started, man.
It don't have to be OH. It could be wherever what's the name of your college, coach? It could be there.
Southwest Christian Community College.
That sounds like a good one. And it's okay to go to a community college.
It is. Shit,
Start
they had this when I was in school.
Start there.
Yeah.
That's okay.
Mm-hmm. That's it, man. Okay. Well, I sure appreciate that, Doc. Thank you for that adjustment. We will make it happen. And when we get back for next week, we're gonna keep this one here. And we're gonna put that thing out there. But we did have a lot of good information from Coach Miller tonight. And so I do want to say thank you, Coach, one more time, man, for coming on, giving us that good information. Dr. Wise, any final last words? I know you just kind of gave us a little bit, but anything else before we close this thing down tonight?
I just want to say, listen, this has been wonderful. It has been very inspiring. I just want to encourage you to take it beyond where you are because it is needed. Our children need to hear your story. And I hope that anyone on here that's listening, and I know I invited people that I know and shared it on Facebook, please call this young man and let him speak to your students. You can't go wrong.
Thank you.
Coach, anything before we close it out?
I need to write that book. I need to write that book. I need to figure that out.
Write that book.
I'm definitely ready to speak to the kids. I love that engagement. I love it a lot, to be honest. And and again, parents, anyone watching this, you have any athletes that wants an opportunity, send them to me. You know, if you have a child in college and you still feel, or he or she still feels that they can still have the ability to want to see if they can compete on the college level, they can always come try out and get an opportunity and see if they can come earn a spot. For the middle school, little kids, high school, my program starts at the age of 5 for the Alief Clovers. It's 5 to 18. So
that's it.
It's gonna be upon the parents to get involved and put them in a place where their kids are gonna be in a space where they can really develop, not just athletically, but mentally, emotionally. Like I give all of that in my program. I don't just focus on athletics. I focus on everything with our kids. So
yeah, that's it, bro. Man, well, I sure appreciate that. Like I say, the information is in the YouTube description. Just for me, once again, thank you, everybody. Once you see this, whether it's now or the replay or whenever, make sure that you subscribe so that you know when we drop in our videos. And I think we got another coach next week. It's gonna be going down. He's gonna hit this thing from a little different way too. So thank you, Coach. Thank you, Dr. Wise, again for coming through, sharing so much. I feel so honored to have you in the building. That will do it for us tonight, y'all. We will be back next week with something awesome. This is KT for KTTV signing out. 100.
This is Darnell with Broadcast Houston.
This is Dr. Tamara Beckford.
Hey, this is Candace.
This is London Underwood.
This is Kirsten Bass with Inner City Greens, and you're watching.
Y'all are now tuned in to
KTTV.
KTTV.
KT